So 4 months ago, I uploaded a video where I discussed how I built my first custom keyboard. And I want to talk about how I've been feeling about this keyboard and how I feel about custom keyboards as a whole now that I've been sitting with it long term. I don't know if you consider 4 months long term, but in my opinion, 4 months is quite a bit of time to sit with something to decide how you feel about something. And honestly, I want to discuss, do I recommend to other people? Do I think other people should try to make custom keyboards? Is the custom keyboard world something that I recommend? And that's something I want to discuss today, because honestly, custom keyboards are a very interesting topic, also a controversial topic because the cost is very high for entry in the custom keyboard world. And honestly, this keyboard was a bit of a cheat code in the world of custom keyboards because yes, we'll say right off the bat, my keyboard was bare bones. I got the case, the plate, and the PCB as a package. The rest of everything I did myself, all the modding, all the lubing, everything. I bought everything myself. Now, custom keyboards are expensive. Very, very expensive. Now, yes, you can get custom keyboards at a reasonable price. It all depends on your idea of reasonable. Now, custom keyboards can go up into the thousands of dollars. But they can also be down low into like the 150 range. 150 to $200 is right on par with, you know, your high-end gaming keyboards. And honestly, if you want my opinion, custom keyboards at that level are gonna be better than your high-end gaming keyboards most of the time. Now, gaming companies are listening. They're doing better. They are starting to lube their switches. They're starting to lube their stabilizers, but they still got a long ways to go. I think due to the fact that they're built in big facilities, it's hard to have, you know, your switches all to be evenly lubed and for your stabs to all be evenly done. I get it. But for $200 for a high-end game keyboard, they should not sound rattly. They should not feel scratchy. You know, these are big companies, but then again, I don't know. But custom keyboards are so rewarding. The accomplishment you feel after completing a custom keyboard is something that you just cannot get by buying a keyboard. Again, yes, the price of admission is very high. And honestly, in my opinion, the custom keyboard community can be very snobby. Now, there are some great people in the custom keyboard community. I don't say I'm part of the custom keyboard community. I'm just somebody that enjoys custom keyboards. I do not regret what I did here. I went from a budget redragon keyboard with Otemu brown switches. They felt super scratchy and there was this loud pinging that happened, and I even filled the inside of the board with foam and this stuff, and I got nowhere. I don't know what caused the pinging. I think it was inside the switches themselves, or it was just the metal body. I don't know. I never figured out what pinged, but God, was it loud. As you were typing, it was going, ying, 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 ying. It was super annoying. So, let's discuss what I built. Now, if you haven't seen my video, I did a video all about this keyboard, but we're gonna go over it all over again. I'm not gonna make you go back and watch that video. I bought the glorious gmmk TKL barebones. I bought gateron red linear switches, and I bought HK Gaming putting keycaps. I love RGB. Sue me. I know some people think it's super corny. I think it's dope, and I like to really accentuate it, incorporate it into my setup. Yes, I use the rainbow glowy shit. Don't judge me. I sat down and I lubed each and every single switch, and I also lubed the stabilizer housing, but I didn't lube the wires, so my stabilizers aren't great. I still need to tune them. I just haven't sat down and done it yet, but I do plan on fixing the stabs. So when we do the sound test, yes, I know my spacebar doesn't sound very great, but I have a few complaints about this board. One is the software. I haven't bothered with the software because you have to mess with your firmware and go through all these hoops just to use the software for this board. And that's one big downside about custom keyboards is software. Software is a problem. Most of the time you don't even have software. Usually you don't have RGB. You'll spend like $800 on a keyboard and you know, you won't have RGB or you won't have any software, and it's very bare bones, and keycaps are very expensive. Switches are very expensive. Plates, bodies, it's all very expensive. And if you ask me, yes, I wholeheartedly believe that a lot of it is overpriced and elitism, and I'm fine with that. Whatever, a lot of communities, if you want the best of the best, you got to pay the price. But I feel like some of it is a bit overpriced, but then again, I've never touched any of that overpriced stuff. Maybe I'll think differently. But I feel like what I got here for $200 is great. I will never go back to gaming keyboards. I may review some in the future. If I want a different keyboard, I'm just gonna build another one. And honestly, I feel like if you have like $150 to $200, try it. Get yourself a bare bones set, you know, lube some switches. Yes, it's tedious and it takes time. It's like a whole new world. It really is. It's like opening up this Pandora's box of amazingness. Now, another downside of this board, micro USB, weird. I really don't have any complaints about this board. I feel like I got more for $200 with this keyboard than I would have if I got like a $200 keyboard from Razer. I mean, even their most recent keyboard, I was just watching a video on it, the new Huntsman. Now, yes, they are listening. They're doing better. The switches are lubed, but they still sound loud. I think the gaming keyboard market has a long way to go to catch up with custom keyboards. Now, if you want to jump in and drop hundreds of dollars, cool, but I'm telling you, you don't have to. Do a budget board. The elites, don't let them get you down. Don't let them dissuade you thinking that you're doing a disservice to yourself by doing a budget board. Trust me, it's still amazing. It really, really is. Do I regret this? No. Will I build another one? Yes. Should you? Absolutely. Honest to God, yes. I honestly feel like anybody who loves PC gaming, or if you're a typist, especially if you're a typist, and you have some spare time or some spare cash, and you're looking for like something new to spice up your setup, custom keyboard all the way. And yeah, I know, I got a bare bones, but hey, I still got results, yo. I still got better results than if I went a gaming keyboard. I really did. Going from a Redragon keyboard to this was leaps and bounds amazing. And before that, I had a membrane keyboard from SteelSeries. Don't buy a membrane keyboard. Your fingers deserve better. Don't buy a membrane keyboard. It's funny how membrane keyboards were actually at one point in time the new standard, that now mechanical keyboards are kind of like a luxury, when mechanical keyboards once upon a time were all we had. Is this a video all over the place? Absolutely. What's it supposed to be? Absolutely. We're gonna roll that sound test. And that is how the keyboard sounds. Point is, I one day found out that there was a thing called custom keyboards. It caught my attention. I was interested. I watched a few videos, figured, you know what? I might try that for myself. And honestly, it was an amazing experience. From buying the stuff, getting excited, to lubing the switches and putting those switches in, and that first time pressing down the key switch and feeling that absolute amazing glide, and the hearing that thought, it was amazing. It was exhilarating. Like the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I would love for anyone to experience what I experienced. You know, yeah, it's a lot of work to build a keyboard. It really is. It takes hours to lube switches. So if you want my opinion for your first board, if you don't mind having less keys, do a compact board, one that has less switches. You know, that way you're not spending a whole lot of time lubing switches, so you can get right into having your keyboard. And then if you liked the experience, then maybe get a bigger keyboard. Honestly, try it. I sincerely think that you should. It was an amazing experience. 10 out of 10. Will do again. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. We play Final Fantasy 14. I'm usually a variety streamer, but right now I'm focused on Final Fantasy 14. And hey, I do tech-related content where I review tech products. I do mice, headsets, and soon-to-be keyboards. If any of that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But that's all from me. Peace.